I was in San Diego this weekend on a vacation, and I was watching this at nighttime.
Oh, no.
And
Alone?
I mean, no. So
Okay,
actually,
good.
well, the baby and the husband were watching it, and then they fell asleep. But
The baby fell
I
asleep?
mean, she's not even a baby anymore. She's 5, but she's still my baby. But,
Forever.
growing up, I would watch Blade by myself, and then when it was time for bedtime, I would be really freaked out.
Yeah.
So this movie kind of is up there for me, so I really loved it. But there's a lot of blood and gore. I have to ask you about that scene where you're kind of swimming through the sea of bodies. What was it like filming that, and is it ever too much blood?
That was 18,000 liters of blood.
Oh my.
That pool scene, yeah, 18,000 liters and 30,000 total. We ran out of blood on this movie. In Ireland, they ran out and they had to import more. They literally ran out. Isn't that crazy?
Wow, that's insane.
I had no idea how bloody this movie was going to be. They told me, you're going to be covered in blood, and I was like, haha.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
It was not a joke. They were not kidding at all. That scene was iconic, though. It was, when you read the script, you don't realize what it's about to transpire into, but that's movie magic. You think it's going to be one thing, and then you show up on set, and it's 500 bodies in a giant pool, and you're going to get in there and have a good time doing it.
So I have to ask you, when you read the initial script and then what you saw on scene, was your reaction different to what you read versus what you saw?
The script was already good, right? I already loved my character, and as you see in the trailer, you see what happens a little bit. I knew it was a great role. I had no idea how Matt and Tyler were as directors, and as soon as I met them, I wanted to work with them. Instantly fell in love with them, wanted to entertain them, wanted to do a good job for them. And they never told me no. From day one, I was like, what do you think of this? And they're like, sure. What do you think of a bunch of tattoos? Okay. They're like, oh, we have this little dance. Can you do a dance for us? I'm like, yeah, okay. I'll send you a video, 2-minute video. We're doing the whole thing, Kathryn, and we're going to teach your dance to Alicia, and we're going to make it a whole thing in this movie. You're like, what? So when you have that kind of collaboration, it makes you want to do a better job. And as an artist, you just are really grateful for the opportunity to try things.
Being able to bounce ideas off of each other. I think
Yeah.
that was one of the most iconic scenes and really creepy, her kind of going through you. And I was rooting because I wanted your character to
Yeah.
live, taking the spoiler out. But,
Yeah.
It was still a great, I'd say, ending for your character.
I think so too. It was really fun.
But, so I do have to ask, all of the characters are harboring secrets. Is there any secret that you've kept that you wouldn't mind sharing?
About her, about Sammy?
About Sammy, about yourself, about anything?
Well, we put a swallow tattoo on her neck, and it means that she's been to jail. We don't know why. I do. Just kidding.
Something
I don't know
to do
why.
with the tech.
Something to do with the tech. Yeah, she's spying on somebody and got caught.
Now, we're kind of stuck in this really nice but creepy house. If you could pick anybody alive or dead to team up with to take down Abigail, who would it be?
Scooby-Doo,
Oh my god.
right? Dead or alive, you said,
Dead
but
or
he's fictional anyway, so.
He's forever living. He's my
Yeah,
favorite.
he is eternal for sure.
He's eternal.
I think that would be fun. Scooby would probably get it done. She'd probably want to cuddle with the dog. She doesn't have a dog. Maybe that's how I get her. I trick her into being friends with the dog, and then I squish her.
Maybe the dog would have helped her kind of tap into her human side a little
Exactly,
bit
like
have
a service animal.
Yeah, I have a little wiener dog, and even though he's
Like
insane-
this?
Yes. Oh my god, sausage dogs are I'm a weird sausage dog lady. I love
Yeah.
wiener dogs, but I would bring him here, but he would be barking every 5 seconds. So the characters go through a lot of trials and tribulations, and they're kind of testing items that they think they would be able to take down a vampire with, but a lot of them do not work. So if you had to pick one thing to take down any vampire with, what would it be? And it doesn't have to be the standard garlic, holy water steak stuff.
I love the stake, though. I feel like a stake through the heart, it's Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's what you want to see. It's iconic. Well, what else would work? Sunlight, right? What else could I do? Maybe lipstick of some sort, some poison lipstick. I don't know. How else could we get creative? A high heel?
Mm-hmm.
A heel through the heart?
Jab him through the heart with a heel.
Death by curling iron? There's a lot of things. Too tight? Point
Vampire
shoes?
corset. So going back to vampire movies, are you a vampire movie fan? And if you have to pick an ultimate iconic vampire movie, what would it be? Mine is Blade, An Interview with the Vampire.
Mine's Twilight. It's a generational thing.
You know what? I was born in England, and I remember reading all the books, and every time a movie would come out, we would all go to the cinema together.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was so amazing. And now when I'm looking back at it, I'm like, I love the movies now, but not as much as like when I was first seeing it and that like obsessive thing that I had going on.
I don't remember how old I was the first time I saw it, but I watched the first one like, you know, a long time after, and it was still so good. It holds up. I think that's a testament. It's classic.
We'll always have those memories. I still can't believe like I'm grown now, like watching this type of movie versus that.
Yeah.
Now kind of tapping into you know, you have a great career. You're like an amazing person.
No.
How do you, I mean, you're so sweet. I've seen your interviews. I've seen you on screen. You're able to do so many different roles. But how do you know, being young in this industry, how do you kind of keep level-headed, keep your mental health in check, and just, you know, go about your day, you know, always positive?
Well, I go outside a lot. I play a lot of golf, and it's really humbling. I love making movies, and I feel like every opportunity I start all over again. Like, even though I've been acting so long, like, it doesn't matter. Every time I do a movie, I feel like I have no idea what to do or, like, how to approach it, which is so strange. You think you get it, and then you get a new job, and you're like, oh, no, I have no idea. Who's this girl? And it's that kind of discovery, I think that's what makes it so fun. I think that's why I don't get bored of it and why I don't want to do anything else, you know? But definitely, I'm not cool, not very popular. Like, it's just pretty boring. So maybe that helps me stay grounded.
Me too. I mean, I like to like dive with sharks, but I'm like the geek.
That's
nerd.
way cooler. I've never done that.
I just recently started doing that in Hawaii, and it's like, okay, I really like being at one with nature, but one day they might be like, go away.
One day. Do you skydive too?
I did that when I was younger, but I think I'll stick to the water.
See?
I'll stick to the water.
The only thing I do is on a set. Whatever crazy thing I'm doing is on a set.
Like a controlled environment.
Control.
I've seen some stunt men, women, they've gone through it. So like even on set, that's a lot of bravery.
That's the one thing. When I'm on a set, you feel invincible, and that's pretty silly because I'm not. There's no difference. You just got a bunch of people around you telling you you're doing great, and then you're like, I'm doing great, and now I just hit a wall. Literally. And it's because I thought I had this run, and you don't have it. So you got to stay humble.
Oh my God, I would love to be on a stunt set. Now, I want to ask.
You would sound like you do a great job.
We'll see, because I'll get really bad anxiety, and then I'll just jump in the water and be like, whatever, what's
You're
the worst
fine.
that's going to happen?
It's kind of how it is. You just have to jump in.
And I was like, you know, if anything happens to me, I'd have to go to work the next day.
And it's over like this, you know?
Yeah, it's
a
like
day
5
on set,
seconds.
a movie, it goes by so fast, so you just have to stay present.
So when you're stepping into a role, because I used to want to like act, so when I'm thinking like when you step into a role, how do you separate like yourself, like your characteristics from like the role you're playing?
I don't think I do. I don't think I do that very well. I don't. I really feel like I fall into the character, and you think it's you. I think it's me. I kind of become it. Like the whole thing with Sammy, I loved wearing her tattoos on the weekend. I started to act like Sammy or just dress like her in my real life, and it lingers, you know. I come home a different person every movie I do. I'm always Kathryn, you know, the whole time, but I think I just put myself in those situations, and then you find things that maybe you wouldn't do, but there's nothing more clever than the truth. So if I'm playing a role and she's in a pool of bodies, or she's gonna turn into a vampire, what is the realest thing that I would do? And it always feels like it's me. I'm not a vampire though.
I wouldn't mind being one just to like live forever and see like time go by, but everything else I couldn't not deal with sunlight.
Yeah.
So what has like being a part of this film taught you?
It taught me that your cast can be like really good friends by the end. I feel like I just feel like it's so strange, but the directors were so good at creating a team like environment. Like every Friday we had dinner, on Sunday we had breakfast, and it created friendship. So I'm like blown away by how they're still so in my life, and I think that's what I learned. I also learned that you can really turn one line or one thing in a script into a 15-minute part of the movie. Yeah.
Wow. I think we have to wrap, but it was so great speaking with you. Thank you so much. I love the film, and I'm a big fan.
Hey, don't get eaten by any sharks.
I won't. They're only Galapagos. I will not, like, if I do a great white, I have to go, like, in a cage.
Girl, you're crazy.
Because I freeze. I'm a big horror fan. I love gore. Of course, when it's time to go to sleep, it's not that great. But what was it like kind of being in this film and just being surrounded by all the blood, all the gore, and all of those crazy scenes?
Fun.
Yeah, fun,
It's
sticky.
Fun, sticky, hanging out with
cold.
Yeah, cold.
Yeah, it was cold,
very
yeah.
cold
A lot
in
of
that
cold.
mansion.
Yeah.
Cold in Ireland at that time. But the mansion that we shot in was particularly cold.
Yeah, it was really cold.
Like unnaturally kind of cold. Like
I
when
can
you'd
imagine.
walk into the house, you're like, there are a lot of secrets being whispered at us.
I'm from Leeds, England, and like the reason I left and haven't gone back since is because it's so cold.
Yeah, I hear you. But to be more specific with your question about the blood, I remember Matt and Tyler's my day to have on the prosthetics and to be, full of blood, and they keep coming over to me and saying more blood, and then another one, and then Tyler comes, more blood. Then they come together, more blood, and so you got blood gushing everywhere. So you're totally like soaked in blood. And it's just one of those days I'm like, I don't feel like it today. And Matt's like, today's the day, you know what I mean?
Blood.
More blood, yeah.
Now, if you had to pick anybody alive or dead to team up with in the house to take down Abigail, who would it be?
Like in fiction or
Anybody, fiction, real life,
Yeah.
like icon, anybody.
I would definitely pick a character I played for 4 years on the Strain because he killed all the vampires in the world. Mm-hmm. So he would, Peter would basically be hiding behind him the whole time.
I think I'll go with Joey.
Okay.
Because after we get rid of Abigail, maybe we can have a romance.
I was hoping that was
Yeah,
gonna happen,
yeah.
and then what happened to your character? I was kind of really annoyed. I was like, really, the second kill?
Yeah.
So I kind of need like a number 2 just to bring you both back, just so we can maybe see like vampires or something.
Yeah.
So I've been asking, if there's one vampire trait that you wouldn't mind living with for the rest of your life, what would it be? Now, it could be living forever, staying away from sunlight, bloodthirst, any of those. Garlic.
Immortality. And apparently flight.
Yeah,
I'd never seen them fly
Me
before,
either.
but
It's
she.
interesting.
So could we end up flying as well as living forever?
That would
Sounds good
save
to
money
me.
on flights.
You could sign me up.
Save money on flights. I
You go
love
back
that.
to leave England every
And
once in a
traffic,
while.
and traffic.
You wouldn't have to pay those incredible prices to go back to England to visit
Yep.
family.
Now, if you had to go up against any fictional horror movie character, who would it be?
Any fictional horror movie? I don't know who I would go up against. I mean, I like to go up against the best. Put me up against Dracula.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to go up against the best.
All right.
Yeah.
That's
If
good.
you're going to go hard, go home. You know what I'm saying? Go hard or go home. You got to go hard.
I think I went up against the best.
That is true.
Because she has like the innocent, little girl, but then it's like completely the opposite.
Yeah.
When she turns,
It's
when she flips that switch on, it's terrifying.
I made the mistake of watching it last night on like a little staycation in San Diego. My 5-year-old was about to go to sleep, and right as she turned, she's like, "Mommy, turn that off. That sounds scary. You're disrupting me." I was like,
Yeah.
"I'm sorry."
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of crazy sounds
Yeah.
in there.
Thank you both so much. I wish I had a lot longer. The film was great. If you guys can fight for a number 2, please do.
You got it. Thank you.
Thank
And thank
you.
you.